So you may not realize it, but there's actually 22 objectives inside of Facebook Ads Manager. That's right, 22 objectives. Now, if you're new to Facebook ads, or you've even been at it a while, that can be very daunting and confusing. Which is the right Facebook ad objective for you? That's exactly what we're going to cover today, so that way you save money and optimize your results for your next campaign. What's up, everybody? Alvaro here from Alvaro Barrios Digital, and today we are talking all about objectives, all 22 of them. I'm gonna break them down, distill them, and simplify them for you. That way, the next time you jump in to make a campaign, it'll be a very, very easy decision, and you won't have to second guess yourself. Now, for this video, we are going to be covering it in terms of the new ODAX interface. If you don't know what the ODAX interface is, I have a little video here that you can check out, and I go all over those changes between the old interface and the new updated ODAX interface. But if you have seen that video, you may recall that with this interface, there's now 6 campaign objectives, overarching campaign objectives, so to speak, and then inside each one, there are sub objectives that you can choose from. So inside those sub objectives, that's where the number 22 comes from. So don't get confused when you click on create campaign and you only see 6 objectives. Just remember that inside each and every single one, there's also going to be sub objectives that you're going to want to check out. So without further ado, let's start at the very top of the list with awareness. So when you hover over awareness, you're going to see a couple different options: reach, brand awareness, video views, and store location awareness. So let's start with the first one. Reach. What does this mean? Here with this objective, you're simply trying to get in front of as many people as possible inside of your given audience. So if you have an audience of 1 million people and you want to get in front of as close to all 1 million people as possible, this is the objective you want to choose. The algorithm is going to ignore anything about their behaviors or whatever in terms of, are they more likely to convert? Are they more likely to watch a video? Are they more likely to click? None of that actually matters with the reach objective. All they care about in this one is just getting in front of as many people as possible. So if you have something that you want the world to see, then this is the objective that you want to choose. All right, moving on down the list, we have brand awareness. So this objective optimizes to get in front of people who are most likely to actually remember your brand. So you really want to choose this one if you're just trying to build some traction, right? Or you want people to just notice you and start building an audience right there online. So a common example is if you're not running any conversion campaigns at any given time, but you still want to be out there in the world, people seeing your content and hopefully consuming it at some point in the future, this could be a very good objective to choose because it's going to get in front of people who actually interact with brands. There's a lot of people on both Facebook and Instagram, they never interact with any kind of brand. So this objective will ignore those people and will only get in front of the people that do actively interact with brands, and they will remember your brand after they see the ad. Next up, we have video views, and this is exactly what it sounds. It optimizes to get in front of people who actually watch a video on Facebook. So this is a really great objective because there's a lot of people that don't watch videos on Facebook. I'm one of them, by the way. I really don't consume a whole lot of video content on Facebook, so I would imagine that if anyone chooses the video views objective, it's not going to get in front of me. But luckily, when you choose this objective, like I said, it will optimize for people who tend to watch videos for longer periods of time on Facebook and Instagram. So if you have a really awesome video that you want people to consume, this is the objective for you. And last but not least, in the awareness category, we have store location awareness. So this is actually just like brand awareness, but this is for your brick and mortar business. So if you are a local business and you want people in your local area to remember you and hopefully come visit you one day, this is the objective that you want to select. Okay, let's move on down to the next overarching objective, which is traffic. And the first optimization that we have access to is link clicks. This will optimize to get in front of people who tend to click on ads for whatever reason, right? Maybe because they are converting on an ad, maybe they're buying something, or maybe they're just clicking on it to go read a blog post or listen to a podcast or whatever it might be. It doesn't matter what type of click it is. It's only getting in front of people who have clicked on ads in the past and tend to click ads and therefore have the higher probability to click on your specific ad. So if you're just trying to get a bunch of traffic to your website, this is an interesting option for you to choose, but not the only one. The reason it's not the only option for you to choose is because next up, we actually have landing page views. And if you're trying to get traffic to your website, maybe you want people to consume your blog post or just see your website, maybe it's a new website and you really want people to check it out and browse it and stuff like that, I would actually prefer to go with the landing page views objective. And there is a small distinction between this one and link clicks. While it's still going to optimize for people who click on ads and go to web pages, the difference between landing page views and link clicks is that a lot of people accidentally click on ads, or they click on ads, but they're not very patient in terms of waiting for web pages to load. That's why the landing page views objective is a little bit better in my mind if you're hoping to get some traffic over to your website, because it optimizes for people who not only click on ads, but then wait for the page to load. So this is a really good objective to get quality traffic over to your website, and that's why I prefer it over link clicks. All right, next up we have Messenger and WhatsApp, and this is simply to optimize for people who like to message businesses. So if you have a specific offer and the only way they can claim the offer is to start sending you messages via Messenger or WhatsApp, this is a really great objective to choose. Now, there are other things that you have to set up in order to do this. It's not just you select it and all of a sudden you get a bunch of DMs. You do have to choose some greetings and some sequences. So there is a little bit more legwork here, but if you're willing to put in that work, this can be a very interesting and powerful way to engage with your target audience, because it is different from your standard campaign where people click on it and go to a web page. So if you're looking for something new and fresh to interact with your audience, this is an awesome objective. Last but not least, in this category, we have calls, and you optimize for calls. Pretty straightforward. If you're a local brick and mortar business, this could be a very good option for you. Or if you have some kind of business with a call center where there's people that they can speak to all day long, some sort of customer support, then this is also a very great option. I'm not gonna go into a whole bunch of detail with this one because it's pretty straightforward. If you need calls, this is the objective for you. All right, let's move on down to the next category, which is engagement. And first up, we have Messenger, Instagram, and WhatsApp. Now, you must be saying, okay, what on earth is the difference between this one and the last one that we spoke about of Messenger and WhatsApp? And it's actually really the same thing. The only difference is that with this option, you can also target Instagram DMs, whereas with the other one, you can only target Messenger and WhatsApp. Here, you get access to all three. So if you are someone that needs to get into the Instagram DMs in order to engage with your target audience, then you want to choose this objective over the previous one that we saw earlier. Next up, we have video views. And again, this actually is just a repeat of the other one in the traffic category. I actually don't know why they lump these in separate categories, because they really do operate the same thing. Now, that being said, whenever I am wanting to do the video views objective, I go with the one under the engagement category, simply because it just makes more sense to me. I actually don't really know if there's truly a big difference between choosing video views under traffic or choosing video views under engagement. But because I want them to engage with the ad by watching the video, I choose engagement and then video views whenever I'm optimizing for video views. All right, next up we have post engagement. So this is any type of engagement that can happen with your ad, whether that be reading your ad, liking your ad, commenting on your ad, sharing your ad, or all of the above. So if you're just looking for people to interact with your ad, maybe you just have some sort of informational content that you want to share. You're not necessarily sending people to your website. You don't necessarily have an offer that you want to give them. You're just sharing some value and goodwill in the ad, in the format of an ad. This is a really great objective to choose, and it's also a really great objective to utilize in order to get a lot of traction on your ad in terms of social proof. The more social proof that your ad has in terms of likes, comments, and shares, the better it's going to do if it eventually turns into a conversion campaign later on. All right, lastly in this category, we have conversions. And you might be thinking to yourself, okay, great, yes, this is the one I want to choose if I want to get people to opt into my freebie or purchase my product or something like that. But under the engagement subcategory, that there is a little bit of a difference. So if you actually read the fine details, it says here, get people to view content, contact your business, and add to a wish list or take another action on your website or app. So it is different from your standard conversion events. So if you are optimizing for a freebie or a purchase, you don't want to choose this one. This one's a little bit more of a higher level conversion, or softer conversion, I guess I should say, where you're just trying to get someone to take a smaller action, such as contact your business, consume an app or something like that. So it is a good tool to use. I typically don't choose this one simply because I'd rather go for one of the other forms of conversions, but I can see a time and place where this may be necessary, particularly if you're a brick and mortar business. So this is always an option for your arsenal. By the way, really quick, I just realized I was saying that the video views objective is under the traffic category and the engagement category. Quick correction, it's under engagement and awareness. All right, next up we have leads. This is probably the most commonly used category in all of Facebook, and it's because it's the one that you want to choose if you're trying to get people to give you their information, such as their name, email, phone number, etc., etc. So the first up option we have here is instant forms. Now, don't confuse this with just your standard conversion campaign. Instant forms is different. When people people click on an instant form ad, it's actually going to open up an ad right there in the newsfeed, and they can fill out their information right then and there. So it is different from your standard conversion ad where people click on an ad and they go over to your landing page and then give you their information there. This is a more seamless experience. They never have to leave the platform. So if you want something that's a little bit maybe quicker and easier for people to fill out, then this is a good option for you to choose. Next up, we have Messenger. So again, you might be asking yourself, wait a minute, now, this is the third time we see Messenger come up. What's the difference this time? Well, the difference this time is that you're actually optimizing for people who are willing to give you their information through Messenger. The other options that we were looking at earlier is just to start a conversation, right? It's not necessarily that they're going to give you their name, phone number, email, all that kind of stuff. But when you choose Messenger under the leads category, then it's going to get in front of people who are happy to share their information through Messenger. That way they can opt into your email sequence or whatever it might be that you are promoting. So choose this one if you need people's contact information through Messenger. All right, next up we have conversions, and this is the standard one that you think of whenever you hear the word conversions, right? So if you're optimizing for a freebie, a free lead magnet, a free training, whatever it might be, this is the one. So they click on the ad, they go over to a landing page, they see whatever it is that you're promoting that you're offering for free, they submit their information, typically in the form of their name and email, and then boom, you have a conversion event because it takes them over to a confirmation page. So this is the big one, so to speak, that you always hear about and often use. So if you need to get people's information one way or another with something that's free, this is an excellent option for you to choose from. Last but not least, we have calls again. Really no difference here between the one we saw earlier, so you can choose either or. All right, next category that we have is app promotions. So this obviously is only applicable if you're a company that has an app, or maybe that is what you are in totality, right? You're just an app. I don't mean to say that in a diminutive way. I'm just trying to say that in a way that is your business. Now, obviously this is what you choose if you're in that type of niche. So you have two options to choose from: app installs and app events. App installs, again, pretty self-explanatory. People, you want to get in front of people that haven't downloaded your app and you want them to download it and start using your app. That way your user base grows. This is the one that you want to choose. App events, however, is used if you want people to create some sort of in-app purchase or some other events inside of your app. One example is, if you have some sort of game app and you want someone to have some sort of mission or whatever it is in your game app, then you can choose this one. Or if you want people to buy something in your app, this is also a great one to choose. All right, and last of the overarching categories, we have sales, and the first one that we have up is conversions. Now again, we've seen this one a couple different times, but this time it is different because you want to choose this one specifically for a purchase event. So the ones we saw previously, that was for free stuff, right? You're either converting through Messenger and you're getting their contact information, or you're converting through a website, through a freebie. Here you're converting through something that they have to pay for. So whether it's a small price product or an expensive product, this is the one that you want to choose if there's some sort of monetary transaction going on. Next up, we have catalog sales, and this is specifically for e-commerce. So if you're not an e-commerce business, you can completely ignore this one. But if you are an e-commerce business and your catalog is connected to the Facebook ads platform, which it really should be if you are running ads, then this is a really fantastic option to choose to get people to buy your products directly on Facebook. Up next, we have our old friends Messenger, Instagram, and WhatsApp once again. And again, it's very similar to all the other ones we've seen, but again, it's going to get in front of people who have tendencies or likelihoods of buying something through Messenger, right? So it's not that you're just trying to start a conversation. It's not that you're just trying to get their email or something like that. You actually want them to buy something through Messenger. So this is the one you want to choose if that's what you're trying to accomplish. And last of all that we're covering today, from the categories to the subcategories, is calls. And again, I personally don't see any big difference between this one and the other ones. Maybe it's going to get in front of people who buy things over the phone, but I've always had my doubts how it can optimize for that, because obviously a purchase over a phone is something that happens off the platform, so Facebook can't really track that unless you're doing off-platform tracking, which some businesses do, but it's really more so very large businesses that have big teams. The vast majority of businesses, they're not doing this. So I personally don't think it's like the best option if you're hoping to get purchases responses from calls, it's not going to be very different from the other call options that we saw earlier. All right, and there we have it. We made it. We just went through 22 different conversion events. I know it was a little bit tiring and exhausting, but hopefully this video distilled it and broke it down for you in a way that made sense. That way, next time you step inside a Facebook Ads Manager and create your next campaign, you know exactly, without a shadow of a doubt, which campaign objective is the best one for you. If you have any other questions about this topic, as always, let me know in the comments below. Also, do let me know what you'd like for me to cover. Here's another video for you to check out. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.